The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is...
I've been thinking a lot about celebrity in the wake of Hollywood's imminent implosion and the end of the music industry as we once knew it, and just the dirty nastiness that's been happening at the top of every echelon we once bowed to. Please tell me you're not still worshiping stars, right? I'd love for us to start imagining a different way to view celebrity, a way that isn't hierarchical. My guess is that the celebrities of the next world we create will be those who are tapped in and awake and have had the chance to start dreaming and imagining a different way of doing things first, before most people have. So instead of making that person the god or their idea the god, I'd love to live in a world where we give the respect that's due for coming up with some good shit, but also we don't put that person on a pedestal just to have to knock them down in a few years like we like to do. This is what we do. We raise them up and then knock them down. We have a lot of screwed up people running the world right now, and that's partially a projection we helped create. We did. One person is never going to be the solution, and one idea is never going to be the solution. In fact, we all have a role to play. It's all of us together. We feed off each other. We build on each other's good ideas. And most importantly, we continue to give each other credit without hyperbolic fanfare each step of the way. It's unnecessary. We have incredible power. So how do we tap in without elevating some to stratospheric heights? Would you commit to doing celebrity differently, to stop idealizing people because they have a good voice or excellent athletic prowess or lead in a way you haven't seen before? And if you can visualize a different way to do this, because that's what I've been trying to do, and of giving the folks that do good respect, how would that look? Leave me your thoughts in the comments.
I don't know who needs to hear this, and I'm only going to say it once. But your favorite rapper, favorite actor, favorite singer, favorite TikToker, favorite Instagram influencer does not love you. They would not piss on you if you were on fire. They love the revenue that contributes to keeping their mansion clean. They love how you pay for their Maseratis and their Rolexes with your minimum wage bi-weekly checks. But they don't love you. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you will also realize that you do not love them.
What do we do after we block all the celebrities, or just basically move away from celebrity culture? The blocking is the symbol of this. But we've all known that celebrity culture was dying for a while now, and it's just, this is it. This is it happening. And I do think we should talk about what's next, because when there's a vacuum, people can come in and use it for more insidious things. My suggestion is that we take that energy that we've been putting elsewhere for our entertainment, to get our culture, to understand our society, because it's not secondary, it's a part of being a human. We need to move that back to our local communities, local theater, local art, local crafts, local music, local dancing, local. I'm very privileged to work with a lot of artists that work in my city. And the talent that exists here is on par with what we see in Hollywood. The difference is money, resources, opportunity, and honestly, Eurocentric beauty standards. Boo. So here are some of my ideas. Have your own little Met Gala. Make some beautiful things out of clothes that no one wants. Host a house concert. Go to a house concert. Go see a play. Host a little film festival in your home where everyone makes a little film on their phone and then watch them together. That sounds really cute. I want to do that one. More is more. More will create more opportunity. More opportunities will create more refined talent. How exciting to see people do amazing things. People have inclinations, but talent is something that you develop. Years and decades of dedication. The internet and this is a really great tool. It's a really great tool for understanding the globe and connecting us in that way. We can't neglect what's happening right outside our door. Both are important. Also, if you're a pal in Edmonton and you want to work on any of those ideas with me, let me know.
Nothing has excited my soul. Nothing has activated the deep hate within my soul like watching celebrity culture die. I need you guys all to stop doing this whole "I'm so disappointed, oh my god" thing about them. They have shown us that they're in a different club than us. They live in a very different America than us. Did COVID not show you that? They were all like, we're all in this together from their fucking mansions. They're just people with jobs. And I just feel like letting them just be employees that give us art instead of God, did you guys live through the early 2000s tabloid celebrity bullshit? I'm so glad it's dying. May we all continue to have worker solidarity. May we all continue to understand that we're the 99 and that 1% don't fucking care about us. Politicians, celebrities, whatever. This age of Aquarius has been beautiful.
Do you guys realize why people no longer like BBLs and no longer like wigs, and why things keep rotating quickly from being super popular to being undesirable? It's because it's all too accessible. Regular people like you and I can now go get a BBL next week if we want to. Wigs are not just for celebrities or, high class influencers. We can all get wigs. Like, it's not hard to do anymore. It's not out of our reach. So that's why we see some ridiculous things becoming like really expensive, like knotless braids. Now we have human hair knotless braids that cost over $1,000. They're struggling to find new things to make luxury. But you can't have it both ways. They invented these huge companies like Amazon that has made all of these things accessible to us poor folks. We got Temu, we got DHgate. We basically have a dupe website for everything. So that's what the people are gonna do. They're going to buy the knockoff version. And I think a lot of people do not want to accept the idea that the concept of celebrity is dead. We don't really care anymore. And I think people have realized that they can be the main characters in their lives and they can look the way that celebrities look for 1/4 of the price. So yeah, I just want to point out the whole concept of taking something old and trying to make it new and raising the price on it. These things aren't played out because they're no longer attractive or desirable. They're becoming played out because you can get your hands on it.
I'm pretty sure that celebrity culture is dead for me in a real way, where I'm hesitant to share my opinions about it online. I think I'm being compelled to find some other modes to explore these thoughts. Mostly because I think online it would be flattened into me being a hater, when in reality, what I know is that I'm becoming disillusioned, and I'm grateful for the clarity. I'm grateful for letting go of it. But if I'm being totally honest, I think there's part of me that's mourning it. And I almost feel embarrassed about mourning it because it's such a pathetic, hollow thing. But I think I have an attachment to it. I think it's part of our culture. When you're a part of a lonely, isolated culture, celebrity is really appealing, because most of us are working too much to meaningfully invest in the relationships that matter. Like, most of us are working too much to see our friends and family. And that is because we're working to be able to afford like food and medicine. So celebrity is really appealing for people who don't even have time for real relationships. Your fave is always a button away, a click away, a stream away. Reliable, emotional response from someone you don't even have to interact with. It's convenient. I like to think of myself as someone who can think about these things critically and be detached. And I think about this like an artist. I don't have the attachments that the stands do. I kind of want to separate myself from that culture, but no, it's part of me too. And it would be dishonest to pretend like it's not. And so it feels pitiful, but it is true. But it's not a mourning I'm running away from. It's a mourning I'm embracing because it reminds me of another point of disillusionment in my life. And that is when I became disillusioned with religion. And that was a slow process. And I like to think that like my deconstruction of my attachment to the Christianity I grew up with was like this intellectual, academic, like critical thinking thing. But I really think it was much more emotional than that. I think what really helped me detach from the church was replacing what the church provided. I don't think it's enough to tell somebody God's not real, or that's illogical. I think you have to give them something else. The church is providing an emotional need, and so it provides community. And I found God in my friendships, in my relationships with people in my life. I found community, I found communion, I found connectedness. I felt like I could be more of myself with people. That what I had to replace wasn't just an intellectual argument. I had to replace an emotional need that religion was providing. And I think if celebrity culture has to die, what I hope comes in its place is an understanding that it was never about the celebrities. It was never about the person with the talent. I think, maybe this is naive, but what I think the function of celebrity was to remind us how easy it is to get attached to people, to see how hardwired we are to be connected to one another, that sometimes all it took was someone to sing a song or to do a dance, and we could become enamored with them. I think the ability to feel affection for strangers is a beautiful thing. But I don't think it was ever meant for us to say that the stranger who entertained us was somehow a more special, more valuable type of person. And so we could be special if that person ever one day acknowledged us. I don't think that was about. It was about like seeing how much we are inclined to connect with one another. It makes me think about all the trouble folks go through to defend their faves and to enter conflict with their faves. For me, conflict is actually something I reserve for the people I care about most, the people I'm in relationship with. Moving through conflict is actually how I have developed intimacy, like profound intimacy with people in my lives. And it's interesting to me because I find conflict to be very emotionally expensive. And so I'm only going to spend that where it matters. I'm going to argue and engage with people who I care about. And we're going to come on the other side of that even closer. And so it's interesting to me that we sometimes exercise this kind of advocacy on behalf of our faves, and we're willing to engage in conflict only for the purpose of being separate from someone we're already separate from. And I think that just makes us even more lonely in a way, because think about it. You love this artist, you love that artist, you think this person is the best, you think this person is the best. And instead of talking about your love of music, you're just going to argue to death. That's a reflection of a really, really lonely culture. And what I hope replaces this is the ability to be enamored with just the human experience. I find myself thinking about the way people will defend their faves, even when they've done something horrible, egregious, sometimes even criminal. And that can be problematic, that can be harmful. I don't think it's wise. But I wish we could live in a society where we did extend a belief that people were not the worst thing that they've ever done. I think about what kind of carceral system we could have if we could extend that to strangers. I think if there was ever any value in celebrity, it was just in reminding us how prone we are to be attached. And like I felt about church, is kind of how I feel about celebrity culture, that I think we're having our desire to be connected to one another be held hostage and behind a paywall. That's why Americans could mistake a commercial for love.
Celebrity culture is really dying, like slowly but surely in front of our faces, ain't it? I say that because if this were like a couple years ago, I would never run into a video of someone being like, yeah, let's stop showing attention to these celebrities, because what do they really do for us? And that's not to say people haven't been saying that, but to the scale that it is now, with the amount of attention that those type of videos are getting now, I would not see that. And hypothetically, right, if Drake goes down, I feel like that would be the real start of, well, if someone like Drake is capable of blase blase, who else is? You know what I mean? I'm just talking though. That's just what I'm thinking and observing.
Seeing the fall of celebrities has got to be the most satisfying thing I've ever watched in my life, because the Met Gala was definitely people's last straw. It is so hard to watch these people with these overinflated egos and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of things when there is wars going on, when we have so like sex trafficking, our children are not safe in our countries, the middle class is gone, our American dollar is plummeting. These people are so far removed, have done so many nasty things to get where they are. And we fund them and we give them our attention for what? Who are these people? I mean, I was looking at or a couple of things popped up on my For You page, and it was Camila Cabello, and she was holding a block of ice as like an accessory. And I don't know why that specifically, like I was almost starting to see everything for what it is and not like, oh, it's the Met Gala. Like I was really looking like, this bitch is holding a fucking block of ice. And it's people, oh, so creative. Like, why have we inflated these people's egos so much to where we just think these people are larger than life? These people are not larger than life. I recently met a rapper this year, and as most rappers, his ego was inflated. And when I met him, looking at him eye to eye, I'm 5'6", and he's dusty with a couple $100,000 worth of chains on and some Louis Vuitton and some designer. You know, it's like, you're dusty with some chains on. Take it off what you got. You're a druggie. That's it. And we have to understand the agenda that this world has pushed onto us. We have to understand that we didn't even really pick the celebrities. They did some real grimy stuff to get where they are. Some of them, obviously not all. But like, you have to understand, who are they pushing in the industry? Overly sexualized women and murderers. That's what they're pushing. So we have to understand, like, I really have to think about it. Who really made Ice Spice famous? Where did that come from? We've seen it time and time again. Where did that come from? Were people really listening to her music like that? You think so? No. Or were they just overly playing it because there was an agenda that they wanted to push, because they found somebody that fit their image and somebody that can do what they want to do? So something to control the narrative of what's going on. And I was never the person who thought everything was a distraction, but it is a distraction. Because we are living in a system that heavily needs to be dismantled, because we are living in an actual illusion, whatever it is, it's not real. The internet is not real. If we were in a war right now, lines were cut, celebrities would literally not exist. Influencers would not exist. And I feel like the most important thing that we should be doing as people is focusing on our individuality. Like, it's okay for people to be popular, but having so much money to the point where you are running, first of all, you're not even helping anybody. You're not giving to anybody. You donate to charity so you can write it off. You're not really doing anything. These celebrities literally do not care about us. They give us nothing. But they sell us products and they post pictures so that they get our attention and that they can make money and buy more shit, while we are poor and we are at the bottom of the barrel. And it's like, and we keep giving these people our attention for what? We are watching people at the Met Gala playing dress up while there are literally wars going on. How much more far removed can we be as people? Block them all. And I agree, we should start with the biggest. We should, and people are saying we should start with Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift, and I'm all for it. And the funny thing is I used to be fans of both people. And, you know, people, oh, you're a Swiftie. It's funny. I grew up on Taylor Swift for real. Like, I've genuinely always liked her. Like, I was a childhood fan. So it wasn't my fault that I was a childhood fan. But, you know, like, now I'm an adult. Like, I can recognize where issues lie, especially within Kim Kardashian. Like, social media is gone and you're irrelevant and you're a regular person. And we need to stop inflating these people's egos. And we need to start looking within ourselves. There's so much talent and beauty within ourselves. That's what we need to focus on. Individuality. And not inflating celebrities of whoever the industry chose for us to look at. Like, it is literally ruining our lives. Like, look at what it's done to women in general. What social media and celebrities have done to women in general. The lip injections, the BBLs, convincing us that we're not good enough. The editing and making themselves seem larger than life and more than human and more than perfect. And we're listening to songs and watching videos where people talk about themselves like they're a god. And they call themselves a god, and they make videos emulating a god or a goddess because they want to seem larger than life. It's the same idea as kings and queens always used to sit up on a pedestal over their peasants in a village because they wanted to seem larger than life. And when they do that, they make the peasants feel smaller. And then when you finally get close to the king or the queen, you're like, wow, I've never seen you at this perspective. You just seem so that, Nah, I see straight through that. Meeting a celebrity, I see straight through it. I've met a couple, been in the same space as a couple. You are a human being. You are, like, if I ever ran into a celebrity or ever had to meet or formally meet one, they will never get the reaction out of me that they think. You are another human being. And a lot of them are so unethical, so far removed, don't care about nothing. I'm tired of grind culture. I'm tired of influencer culture. Get rid of it all. Let's focus on our individuality. Let's focus on real talent. Let's stop allowing the industry to make murderers and overly sexualized women popular because we don't give a fuck no more. We don't want to see no more shaking ass. We don't want to hear about who died. Our people are really dying out here. And especially for the Black community, it's disheartening. And even I'm guilty of this because I've listened, because that's where I came from. You know, and it's like you listen to rap music and you get so involved in this and you think, no. Do you really believe that, like, America cares about the agenda that they push on Black people? If they really cared, they would make more ethical people famous. And they would push real talent, but they don't. They push murderers and they push hood people and they push ratchetness and little talent. Whoever has the image to emulate whatever they want to do, like, we just need to do better. Block them all. It's a fever dream. It's not real. Block them all. Get rid of them all. I don't want to see it no more. Like, this whole celebrity thing, gotta go. Done with it.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't get the hype over celebrity. Like, celebrity influence has died down in the recent years. And when I see somebody so-called famous or known, I don't feel this sense that they are greater than I am, regardless of what they accomplish, because first of all, we all have our own talents and we all can accomplish things, and people around you accomplish great things. But I don't know, maybe it's like because these so-called, like, regular people started becoming influencers and they started getting celebrity, and then celebrities started, clapping back at people online, making this, I don't know, whatever it is, but the lines have blurred for celebrity influence and celebrity culture. Like, people don't look at celebrities like they used to. Like, the paparazzi, TMZ, that's how people used to be over certain celebrities. Nowadays, you see them, and if you ever seen them in person, their presence isn't as big as you think it would be. And I don't know, it just seemed like celebrity culture is like not a real thing anymore, because now anybody could be a celebrity. Like if you get online and you get notoriety, you could be a celebrity. Like it seemed like it's not hard. It's not hard to attain anymore. So people are going less crazy, but that's just my take. Maybe not. Maybe y'all still going wild when a celebrity come in y'all city and y'all showing up to their hotels and stuff, but I just don't see it. It ain't worth it to me.
Now, celebrities, y'all can't even put the hidden symbols and stuff in y'all videos no more because people was breaking down that and it's got millions and billions of views all on TikTok. It's hard for y'all to do anything. Y'all all walking on a slippery slope. It is the end of what you know as a celebrity. So if they losing celebrities, they have to cause way more traumatic trauma to consciousness in different ways. They have to figure out ways. Gen Zs, y'all starting to lose that connection, that interaction with human life. Like most of y'all is just at home 24/7. Y'all girls too, like most of y'all girls is y'all self-pleasuring yourself 24/7 for content. When is the last time you actually had a real man? You don't even talk to man in real life. Everything is online. Like bro, most Gen Zs, it's important for y'all to know who y'all are. Especially y'all, we got little siblings. Let them know, bro, when we was younger, me, for example, I was a hooper, so I looked up to LeBron, I looked up to Kobe. They was gods to me.
These are the last days, y'all. No, I'm not talking about some apocalypse or something like that. These are the final days of celebrity culture. In 2025, we're about to see a totally brand new version of the industry. I think it starts with the downfall of the people who've been committing heinous crime after crime after crime behind the scenes. People who've been getting away with things for years after years after years and had nobody answer for them because they had so much power and money are now being exposed to the light. And because they're gonna fall, the rest of the celebrity culture is gonna fall with them. I believe this is what Kendrick Lamar was talking about on Watch the Party Die. Him going after Drake and dropping a song like Meet the Grams, etc. was a domino effect that's leading to everything that's happening right now. I would also like to believe that Cat Williams was a part of the process beginning with his interview. Think about it, we've been watching this industry glorify a bunch of things that pull you away from your higher self and pull you away from God. And now we got an album out that's got multiple songs on the billboards in the top 10 talking about God, like Reincarnated. Bro, Luther is the highest streamed album on the song, and one of the bars is talking about putting your enemy in front of God and catching fire. Like, bro, we're watching the shift. Pay attention.
I saw an interview with Bad Bunny where they asked him if he felt like there was something that should be done about the language barrier in his music. And he said, I don't care, as he should have, because that's not a question you would ask a Taylor Swift. Is there a language barrier to your music? He's Puerto Rican. He makes music for Puerto Rican people. And then those who are not Puerto Rican, who like a good groove, can listen to it and get something out of it. And I think that we should adopt the same model, because a lot of people right now have been talking about Doechii and how she is making music for people who want to free the slaves, or Harriet Tubman music, whatever. And yeah, it's for people who care about their blackness, and it ain't for you. If you don't get it, it's not for you. Let 2025 be the year of no explanatory commas. Don't explain anything. And this is for writers like myself as well. Don't put the slang in there. Don't explain it, because our creativity is being siphoned off by the digital vampires, otherwise known as the tech bros. And the girls who get it, and the girls who don't use ChatGPT.
I'm not gonna cap. Trying to be famous and trying to be a rapper in the year of 2025 is weird. I ain't gonna lie. Being a rapper in the year of 2025 is weird. It's weird. I'm sorry to tell you this. No music is dropping. You know why? Because we expose that bullshit for what it is. So by you getting up there still talking about, we don't get the signs, we don't see shorty, you look stupid. We going into 2025 still with this whole degrading shame, freaking IMVU looking type girl. Like, we still going through this? We still going through this? Didn't we expose that? I'm the reason why the music stopped in the first place. Still got Lil Baby in the streets of New York still trying to perform bullshit with Future. Those names don't even sound familiar anymore. They irrelevant. I haven't seen a song or anything about them. Because we got rid of them. I got rid of them. I'm the one who started it all. They're non-existent. So your favorite rappers and your favorite music today has destroyed you and messed you up, they dead. As in, their music is dead. Their music is dead. Nobody wants to hear that. It's BS, man. In today's time, being popular and being famous, if that's what you're doing shit for, you don't deserve it. I don't care to see anybody get paparazzi pictures. I don't care about that. You ain't making nothing happen. You ain't teaching. You ain't awakening nothing. You just destroying people. So cut it out trying to be a rapper in 2025 or a booty shaker in 2025. You just look embarrassing. Like, that is so, that's not even so 2024. That is just like so 2022, 21. Shit is dying out, man.
You know, I wonder when it's going to get to the heads and the minds of the PR people and the handlers and the assistants, I don't know, whoever, of the celebrities and politicians, that we're just over you. Like, the general public is like going through some real shit down here, and we are just not into the nonsense anymore. I mean, if anything, this whole like Uber ride to space that Katy Perry and Gayle and a couple other people did, Lauren Sanchez, I think they like picked one of every flavor of the rainbow and like shot him up into space in some like attempt to, I don't even know. Like, the fact that they couldn't see that this would be a total like PR disaster is kind of hilarious to me. And it's like the same thing with influencers and celebrities. It was really funny watching like the guy go up to JLo and be like, oh, like, what do you do for a living? And she's like, I'm a singer. It's like, they have forgotten their space, like, in the hierarchy of society. They are entertainment. That's literally all they are. And with whatever things that happened through social media that kind of skewed the I don't know, like the scales of everything, they kind of just got a little bit way into themselves and way like over their heads. Politicians too. Like, we're over you guys, and we're seeing that you guys are capitalist puppets designed to get us to spend money, to take our money, to dislike each other, to point fingers at each other, that so we don't see you guys stealing the money out of our back pockets. Like, they have to become self-aware really soon, because like literally we're so fed up to hear with everybody like anything can get you canceled. Just like this trip to space is getting Gayle canceled. Like, you guys are only in rooms with each other. And yes, people, they are not telling you the truth. We're over it. We've got real shit going on in this world, and you guys need to lock in. And the only way to get back on anybody good graces is to be a part of the solution. Build some libraries, donate to the arts, feed people, pass laws that actually help the general population, pay your taxes. Everything else you're doing just in the name of self-gratification, like, that was good in like 2015. Like, ugh.
The relative success of the Met Gala this year is, in my opinion, an outlier on a sinking ship. The Met Gala is supposed to be one of the biggest events of the year, and yes, they really did see a growth in their social media impact, 1.2 billion global views on Vogue's social platforms. But despite these really, really impressive sounding statistics, something was missing, which was genuine enthusiasm. It's really, though, the other stats around the celebrity sphere that paint a fuller picture. For example, the Academy Awards in 2025 saw a 7% drop in viewers from last year, down to just 18 million viewers, which, for perspective, in 1998, the Oscars had over 55 million viewers, and that high viewership remained steady into the 2010s with 40.4 million viewers in 2013. And even Beyonce, who's arguably the most famous female singer on the planet, is struggling to sell out her tour. Pre-sale tickets were priced at up to $800, but then just hours before the show started, the prices fell to $57.50 because thousands of seats remained unsold. There's really a palpable shift in the attitude of the public towards celebrities. People aren't just indifferent to them, but I would say that they actively resent them. In a world rife with poverty, war, and hardship, watching an ultra-wealthy celebrity parade in a custom-made couture dress that they're just gonna wear for a few hours while preaching progressive social values that they rarely ever live out themselves really has become increasingly tone deaf and off-putting for the average person.
Just talked about this on our latest podcast episode that drops on Thursday, how celebrity has changed. Social media has obviously bridged the gap and made it so that like anybody could be a socialite. If you're into like old Hollywood, debutantes, people who come from wealthy families, like for example, before she was known for jeans and fucking birthing Anderson Cooper, Gloria Vanderbilt was simply a socialite. Do you get what I'm saying? Because she came from a rich family, there has always been a lane and a sector of celebrity that's not necessarily like, I'm an actor, I'm a singer, I'm some sort of artist. Like, I'm literally known for being known. I actually said that I was going to, for next week, bring my favorite socialites of the 20th century who were simply just socialites. They weren't anything else. Because there is this idea that like simply just being famous and people wanting to know what you're wearing and what you're doing, like this is some new shit. It literally is not. What social media has allowed us to do is it's made it open to quite literally anyone. And with that, that's making the actresses feel like they have to compete with us. Whereas before, it was like the actresses honestly felt like they were still above socialites, which I'm sure they feel like that now. But because the internet has made it so like, oh my God, but you're relatable. An actress is not necessarily relatable because I don't act. But like, you're just an everyday girl. I'm an everyday girl. That piece is what's blurring the lines. And I just saw a tweet of Michael B. Jordan talking about how Denzel Washington had told him, keep your personal life out the media, because why would they come see you on the weekend on a screen in a movie if they could see you every day on social media? With everybody sharing, I think in the next decade, the thing, so if you know a bit of Hollywood history, thespians of the stage of Broadway thought they were better than movie actors. Like, no, I actually do this. I do this every night for a live crowd. You get on and you perform for a camera. We're not the same. I think in the next decade, these celebrities who like draw back and do the Michael B. Jordan and pull from like generations past, and we really don't know nothing about them, that's going to be like the new, like, we're not the same. I take my craft seriously. The public knows nothing about me. They only know.
Isn't it, or was this era like the last of the celebrities, if you know what I'm saying? And this is not to say that artists that came after them weren't amazing artists. This is just saying that it was a different era during their time. When they were on the rise, social media was not as prevalent, and I feel like that had a great deal to do with why they were seen as actual celebrities. And if you were there, I know you know what I'm talking about. How we had to wait till 106 & Park released their music video, and it was like so much anticipation built up to see what the artist was working on next and what they were dropping next. You had to wait till exclusive interviews and magazine shoots and big releases from the artists to really hear anything about them. Like, they weren't as accessible and as available and visible as they are now because of social media. And honestly, Michael Jackson is a perfect example of what the celebrity magic can really do. Granted, the man was talented as hell, but we can't ignore the fact that he was not as available as celebrities are in today's world. You can even tell by the differences in their fan bases. Like, they have established strong fan bases, like loyal fans that were built from that era. They have names and faces that are known worldwide outside of the US, and they can easily sell out stadiums, with majority of it being just their fan base. Even Chris Brown said in one of his interviews that it's going to be harder for an artist to make it on in this time because it's oversaturated and social media overexposes. Social media waters things down and it makes it easier to blend in. And like Chris Brown said, so many things have been done already. So it's like you have to truly stand out and truly be different for you to be recognized on a certain type of level. And yes, social media has its benefits, but I feel like it has ruined the art of a lot of things in life. And I'm not just talking about music. If you were there during the rise of these artists, I definitely feel like you experienced a cultural wave firsthand. And I feel like now we're experiencing a close of the era. And it's bittersweet. But man, was it a time to be alive. And it's such a crazy and beautiful thing to see how far they all have come and how they have built an empire in their own ways. And it gives you that nostalgic feeling like, damn, I really got to witness this era and things may...
Okay, this video might hit a different audience than it's intended to, but I feel like as a generation, nobody really cares about like the VMAs, MTV. No one cares about like award shows anymore. We're no longer in like celebrity culture, I think, because people just genuinely don't care about celebrities as much as they used to. The way that the paparazzi used to stalk Britney Spears, Michael Jackson, invade their privacy, and everybody wanted to know every second of what these celebrities were doing, nobody even really cares anymore. And that's not to say that nobody watches the VMAs, because I know there's definitely a bunch of people out there that have watched their whole lives and they still tune in, but I also feel like there's different ways of watching things now. I'm not going to sit through the entire VMAs and all the commercials when I can just watch the highlights on my TikTok feed. They're not as big as they used to be, and I feel like companies need to start finding ways around it. When I was younger, I think my family used to watch like the Grammys maybe, just for the performances on the TV, but we were never that type of family that was like going to sit down and watch it all. But I do remember like all the iconic performances. That just wouldn't happen now. Nobody would care now. I also feel like they're just not as good anymore. Other than like Tate McRae, no one else can really dance and sing. And personally, I'm not like the biggest Tate McRae fan. I don't listen to her music, but I appreciate her art that she's dancing and singing at the same time. She's giving a performance. We need that back. We need Britney back. Basically Adele. We just need to make Adele way bigger and we will be so set. She's our icon. She's our pop star.
I just find it interesting how clear the current downfall of celebrity culture is, because more and more, none of us can relate to these people who are uber wealthy and uber privileged and all that. And it's gotten to the point it isn't enticing or interesting anymore. It's just downright insulting almost to just see these grand displays of wealth that we can't even begin to comprehend, as most of us are trying to pay for our groceries and dream of owning a home one day. I think the Super Bowl last night was a really good demonstration of this because of how clearly the celebrities in every single commercial were there to kind of remind us like, oh, you like us, you want to see us, you enjoy us, right? But I don't think it's working in the same way they want it to. I think the more and more they desperately try to grasp back this power and attention that they had at one point, the more and more bitter a lot of us become towards them. Anyway, what are y'all's thoughts?
Something dawned on me, and this is exactly why I'm about to quit. Celebrities today don't act celebrity enough for me. If I had stacks of money at my ear, like big old stacks, carrying them big old bags of money in them go-yard purses, on a few properties, you know when them celebrity rappers be taking a picture like 10 cars in a parking lot, and they all monochromatic, like they all matching. Do y'all think I'll be commenting on a random person's post? Y'all don't give me enough celebrity. Like how fine some of these celebrities are. I would not be commenting on no one's post. I would be Beyonce. Beyonce is the last celebrity standing, remaining. The celebrities know that she's a celebrity, and that's exactly how I would be. You wouldn't get a response from me. I said what I said. I don't know. Like Cardi B, girl, Nicki, y'all need to stop replying to everybody. Y'all are like millionaire, billionaires. Like, I'm very joyful now, but don't let me get rich.
Nobody talking about this, because I'm going to tell y'all, we are going to be the next celebrities. You know why? Because all these other celebrities, they about to go down with P. Diddy too. Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him. But us influencers, content creators, we gonna be the new celebrities. And you know why? Because we be honest. We don't be, keeping secrets. No, we gonna be the next celebrities. Watch. Y'all say this video. Because we gonna be the next celebrities. I promise y'all. And the reason why we gonna be the next celebrities is because celebrities, they were so used to not being able to say anything. And us content creators, influencers, whatever you want to call it, we are not holding our tongue for nobody. We're like, no, we gonna say what we gotta say. We gonna do what we gotta do. But we not keeping no secrets. Like, we not sacrificing our soul just to make it to the top. Like, you can tell a lot of these celebrities are like miserable, and they just like, well, we want to top too. Like, we got something to say. But it's like these people from back in the day, they was trying to make it big so bad that they had to sacrifice their soul. And now it's coming out. And y'all want to know what's crazy? I knew P. Diddy was a weirdo from the jump. Like, I knew something was off about him years ago. I just knew it. I knew he did that to Tupac. I knew it. I knew he did that to Kim Porter. Y'all been watching this girl's like she's been breaking down the Kim Porter book. It's crazy. Y'all need to watch it.
You know how old people love to tell stories? Well, a growing part of me feels like once we start having kids and grandkids, they're genuinely going to be confused by the relevance or even the definition of celebrities in the context of our stories. Like, if you tell your grandkid a story about like Andre 3000, I feel like there's a future where they genuinely wouldn't understand why the story is cool, not just because they don't know who Andre 3000 is, but because the concept of a celebrity itself doesn't really resonate. And hear me out, because people have always been famous, but the concept of modern celebrity as we know it, for me, largely is a result of the 1500s and 1600s, this Renaissance era where we have this anthropocentric shift in media and art, and also the advent of the printing press, which allows individual people to disseminate their ideas about their lived experience and then gain acclaim for that. And that's taken so many different forms in the centuries that have followed. But there's this weird bell curve that's existed where it's like the access to these kinds of things has increased. So it created this strata of celebrity, but it was still limited enough that it was special. And now we're on the other side of the bell curve where the access has been taken to the nth degree, and it's no longer special, not because no one can do it, but because everyone can do it. You hear people in social media and marketing talk about like niching down and that trend towards micro influencing, which eventually gave way to something that's kind of like a post-influencer vibe. To me, that's a reflection of the decline in globalization and a return to localized scopes in general. It weirdly makes me think about how people refer to the old gods in Game of Thrones, And I could problematize everything I just said, but it is interesting to me that all of capitalism's babies, chattel slavery, modern celebrity, the quote-unquote new world, all of these things had relatively the same inception date, give or take, and we're now seeing them in decline. And to me, that's an indication on every level that we are on the brink of a new age, of a new era. And what that age will be defined by and what it will look like are the questions that I think we should be asking and coming up with answers to, because in some ways I think we get to decide. I think we are in another Renaissance moment, even if it doesn't feel like it. Like, we are in a latchkey major shift moment that maybe will set the tone for the next half millennia or more. I know that's very lofty and kind of like, unsubstantiated, but that's what it feels like. Like, I feel like the zeitgeist isn't something you can necessarily get super granular with all the time. Sometimes you just got to feel it, and that's what it feels like to me.
I think one of the best things I have done for my mental health is decentering celebrities. I honestly am not caught up in any celebrity gossip. I don't engage in discourse around celebrity unless it involves the disrespect of children. Because what the last few years has shown me is that celebrities don't care about us. They don't care about our issues. They don't care about our pain. They don't care about our suffering. The only thing they seem to care about is whether or not we have enough money to give them. And they don't really care how we get the money as long as it makes its way to their pockets eventually. And let me be honest, this is a new, right? But this lack of expectations for celebrities right now has enabled for me to not be surprised when I hear that a celebrity has done something horrible, because they are human. Horrible people are not just poor people. They are celebrities, they are CEOs. And if we allow ourselves to see them as human, then when their flaws are revealed to us, we are less personally impacted by that reality. When I say decentering, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to go to the movies or to a concert. It doesn't mean that I don't have my favorite celebrities. It just means that I am not consuming myself with the day-to-day ins and out of a celebrity's life. The point in which I'm building a parasocial relationship with that celebrity in my head where I think I have to defend them on things that I actually don't have any real insight into. I don't know these people, they don't know me, and they don't care about me.
Celebrity is so accessible now that the value of it is dying.
That's exactly what's going on.
Like, people don't even care no more. I don't care how big of an artist is you. And it's like, I think the entourage is killing music because a lot of artists got too many people around them and ain't nobody telling them like, yo dog, the same shit you saying right now, you was saying that in 2022, you saying it in 2025. You not hot. Ain't nobody saying that. There's no evolution, there's no growth. You're rapping the same shit. You're not taking me nowhere as a fan.
Yeah.
Why should I stay with you, Bunny? I don't care. And the jury, the cars, none of that shit stream.
No.
Good. It's like,
and none of that shit don't really mean nothing no more, because at the end
Everybody
of the
got
day,
it.
if you go to the club in Atlanta, right? Just say we go out, right? It's going to be 2,000 niggas in the club, and it's going to be 1,600 niggas with jewelry on. Now, granted, only 300 of them niggas shit gonna be real, if that.
100.
But let's be for real, it's gonna be a nigga standing right next to you, he like this. And a goofy bitch don't know the difference. She actually looking at his shit like it's better than yours.
Yeah.
That's the middle of the mall, baby.
Yeah.
But they don't know the difference.
Rihanna was at the Met Gala.
Sydney Sweeney was at the Met Gala, bitch. Studio apartments cost $1,200.
I don't give a fuck if a fucking alien showed up to the Met Gala. Why am I supposed to care about the Met Gala?
Future shows up to Met Gala. Dude,
I can't. We'll probably never be able to afford a house.
And I'm supposed to care about some dude wearing some $30,000 outfit.
I don't even know this guy. Makes okay music, but I'm supposed to give a fuck.
God, dude, like celebrities, bro. Like, oh, look at me, I'm so important, bitch. Nobody fucking cares about you. God.
Celebrity culture is dying in 2025. From the Met Gala's empty seats to red carpets that look more like ghost towns. The world is waking up. Netflix just pulled a Prince documentary avoiding a real story to keep it safe, but that's just the beginning. Yo, do you think celebrity culture is dead? Comment is over if you think so. Look at Sean Diddy Combs, facing federal charges that completely shattered his image, and Russell Brand hit with multiple accusations with his public persona literally in a freefall land. The Beckham family, once Hollywood royalty, now struggling to keep their name clean. But it's not just scandals, it's us. We've replaced the perfect with the real. Micro influencers and everyday creators are taking over. People want that authenticity and not staged perfection. So let me ask you, would you rather follow a celebrity or a relatable creator? Comment creator or celebrity, and I'll know exactly what team you're on. Celebrity culture is dying in 2025 because we're done pretending. We don't care about perfect selfies and fake apologies. We want real stories, real people, and for the old guard, the fame isn't forever. Drop a skull emoji in the comments if you think celebrity culture is finally dead. And if you've got a celebrity, true scary story, or wild celebrity encounter, send it in. I might feature it next. Join the Discord for the darkest stories that I shared. If you love these crazy true stories, do hit that follow button and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, I'll let you brag to your friends that you're a celebrity over here. Double eye emoji if you.
J. Cole did this interview with Angie Martinez a couple years back where he was talking about how the idea of celebrity he feels like is gonna die in like 1,000 years. And with this recent like Gayle King going to space thing, I kind of see his point, bro. Like, I really do feel like celebrity culture will at a certain point like tumble over, and I feel like it's been happening in real time because TikTok kind of liberated the masses. So it's kind of like the same idea with Syndrome and The Incredibles, where he was like, when everyone's super, no one's super. Now that everybody's becoming famous, eventually no one will be famous because everybody is famous. And I don't know, that's a very liberating thought, because it's just like, we don't have to play those games no more of like, oh, I'm more status than you, so treat me better. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, we all are. You know what I mean? I'm happy for it.
Celebrities are having a hard time processing that we don't really care about them anymore. And it is literally driving them crazy. It's driving them crazy. I mean, we don't care about y'all no more. We are the celebrities now. We matter the most, not y'all.
Majority of the celebrities you see now, one, they robotic or clone. They're not here no more. They're gone. They disappeared. Most of them is. This is the reason why you don't see many of them talking and speaking. They're no longer here anymore. They already gave this. They already sold it. There's things that you can't see. It's too crazy for the eyes and the soul to handle. Anybody would speak up about what's going on, what's happening, but they cannot talk. They are not allowed to. See, we like, what's going on? What's happening? It's the end for us, and it's the end for them. They can't take the material possession. They already gave their soul up. They know where they're going afterwards. Even though they try to come back to the right side, they can't. They can't. Once you join and you be a part of it, you can't come back to this, to what we are. They begging God to forgive them. They begging for forgiveness. They're fucked. They're screwed. Y'all better understand the hour and the time and day that we in. It's not a game anymore. It's not a joke anymore. It's right around you. It's right in front of your face. China and McClain told you. They know he real. They just hope the fact that you don't. And it's right in front of your face. And most and many of you still won't see it. They still looking at me as crazy, cuckoo. They're not getting it. But time will tell. Time's up. They know what it is. I know what it is. And it is what it is, baby. It's game time.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is